Please help support the channel by visiting our Amazon store, affiliate link below. Hey, what's going on, everybody? My name is Matt Charbo. This is the Mundane Matt channel, and you know, we live in a weird time, and I feel like the news very much backs that claim up more often than not, right? Especially in America, especially on political situations, right? Our own personal political biases have put us in this very weird situation where you have got the Trump derangement syndrome on the left and the exact opposite of that, also the equal but opposite horseshoe theory of it on the right. And a name for that, I don't quite know what it is yet. I don't know if there is exactly a name for it. If there is, I personally can't think of it right now, but you guys get what I'm trying to say. It's crazy how far some people will go to get the message out there of their own political leanings, especially when you are a person who is a Democrat living in a red state, kind of like this woman right here, who put an F Trump sticker on her car and ended up getting arrested for it. Now, the article that's going around with this one, clearly trying to show this narrative where this woman was in fact arrested because she had F Trump on her car, and that was, the sheriff had threatened it, so on and so forth. And that's not entirely correct, but that is the narrative that's being spun by the left-leaning media, who have gotten it wrong. And lately I've been noticing when it comes to these more sensationalized stories, there's quite a bit there that they tend to omit. And I don't know if it's for time or for space or simply because of the narrative, but it gets really frustrating when I'm watching the news. And this goes for pretty much like everybody right now. And they overlook certain factoids that change the narrative for the situation, right? Like I'm watching a bunch of stuff, people attacking Roy Moore. I personally don't like the guy. I don't want him to be a senator, but whatever. And I notice like little details will change, like little things will be omitted that from both sides of the argument, trying to, vilify or vindicate, depending on how you look at it. But this situation, again, is something similar in terms of how it's being put out there by the media. So it says that a Texas woman was arrested for fraud after a local sheriff threatened charges of disorderly conduct for a crude anti-Trump sticker. The woman says she believed the real reason for her arrest was having the sticker. Now, I would argue it's probably a little bit of column A, but mostly column B, in turning like a little bit she thinks that it was because of the sticker, but it was probably for the fraud charges, but her attention was drawn to her because of the sticker. That is kind of the world we find ourselves in with this story. So this is happening in Fort Bend County, Texas, where a Texas woman who donned the F Trump sticker on her truck was released from jail Thursday night, a day after a local sheriff threatened to press charges for her against her for the display. Now that to me is just, it's hysterical, and it's such an abuse of power at the same time. It's hysterical because I want to know in what reality this dude thinks that he would be able to actually get that to uphold in a court of law, right? Like First Amendment, man. If she were actually arrested for that sticker, like that particular sticker was the reason, you would have every pro bono liberal attorney on the West Coast, everyone in San Francisco would be moist in their trousers and on the first flight to Dallas to represent this woman. And they would take it all the way to the Supreme Court, and they would win if it ever got that far, because it would be a violation of this woman's First Amendment of free speech, everything else, right? The thing with that too is like, I mean, in hate speech, for example, if you want to look at that sticker as being hate speech, and I've seen some people on Facebook refer to it as such, it does boil down to the fact that, I can walk up to, to a black person and say some pretty hateful stuff, and it's not illegal. It's super douchey, and I would never do it, but it's not illegal because I have my freedom of speech, and that protects me, even if that speech is hate speech. Again, something that a lot of people out there need to remember when it comes to this beautiful country of ours. Just because your feelings are impacted doesn't mean your rights have been. So it says here that Mike Fonseca said his wife Karen was picked up Thursday afternoon for an outstanding warrant from August. He posted her bond on Thursday night, and she was released from jail about an hour later. Records show that she was accused of fraud. The Fort Bend County Sheriff's Office says they made the arrest after getting the tip about the warrant, which means probably when she started using that sticker and going around, people were maybe calling it in because they thought that that might have been hate speech or an attack on the president, so on and so forth, even though it's clearly not. I mean, you have the legal right to call to say you want the president to be assassinated. You have that legal right. Again, First Amendment. Now, if you start trying to call upon other people, that's where it gets a little bit murky. And if you start plotting it yourself, yeah, you're definitely in violation of the law on that one, but you can say it and it's not illegal. Again, it doesn't make you any less of a dickbag, but we're talking legality here. But when this particular thing started circulating around Dallas, you can pretty much guess that somebody maybe knew about it and tipped it in, right? Because people get vindictive like that. Like, oh, Karen. Oh, that bitch. Oh, she's got a warrant out for her arrest right now. And I'm going to make her day a living hell because you know what? I voted Trump 2020. Like that kind of mindset's where I'm thinking here. Anyway, she made headlines on Wednesday after Fort Bend County Sheriff Troy Nels threatened to arrest her for the anti-Trump sticker on her pickup, and saying here that he posted a photo of the truck on Facebook Wednesday saying, "I have received numerous calls regarding the offensive display of this truck as it is often seen along FM 359. If you know who owns this truck or it's yours, I would like to discuss it with you. Our prosecutor has informed us she would accept disorderly conduct charges regarding it, but I feel we could come to an agreement regarding a modification of it." Oh, your district attorney would have a hell of a day. A hell of a day getting sued out the bell end by every liberal attorney out there who would be coming after them for disorderly conduct charge for First Amendment expression. Again, right? It would never stick. It would never stick. But that's the threat right there. That is the threat from the officers. Well, you know, I mean, like I talked to the district attorney. The district attorney said that we can get you on disorderly conduct charges because you're saying F the president and F anyone else who votes for him. That's a violation. It's really not, but in the end, it's Texas, and I'm not. People in Texas are smart, but people in Texas, like people everywhere, can get emotional, and sometimes emotion can really just kind of mess with feelings, mess with facts, mess with reality a little bit. Anyway, after the story went viral and thousands of commentators defended the sticker as free speech, Nels deleted the post, as he should, saying the objective of the post was to find the owner/driver of the truck and have a conversation with them in order to prevent a potential altercation between the truck driver and those offended by the message. Since the owner of the truck has been identified, the sheriff took down the post. This coming from the Fort Bend County Sheriff's Office spokesperson. The Fort Bend County District Attorney said his office has no plans to file charges over the sticker. Look, here's the thing, too, when it comes to that. Cops don't have to tell you the truth. Cops can threaten to arrest you. Whether or not they actually arrest you is a different story. It's like when you go in for an interrogation. Cops don't have to tell you the truth. They will tell you anything they can to throw you off, to make you feel like you're trapped, and then admit to a crime. It is a horrible practice and not one that I support at all, but they don't have to tell you the truth. And so that's what he was doing effectively, was trying to like threaten a charge against her in order to get her to turn herself in, to modify it, right? In order to keep other people's sensibilities in check, because someone else might react to this. A potential Trump supporter could attack a non-Trump supporter over a sticker. That would make for an insane headline, and I'm glad that didn't happen. But still, she says that she's had the sticker for nearly a year. Bold, but I'm sure at that point in time, people who drive that commute every day pretty much know it. I mean, look, I live in Washington, and I've seen Confederate flags on full display mounted on the back of pickups driving down the road. All right, you find this stuff everywhere. It doesn't matter what side of the political coin you are on. But she says here that it's it's almost certain that it has something to do with the arrest in terms of the sticker. Says after release, people abuse the badge, and in my opinion, money talks. When you're in politics, people know how to work the system. And then that's probably a fair representation of what's going on. I would say that, there's probably a lot of complaints. The sheriff, if someone would have complained about it, somebody would have gotten a plate number. They took photos of it. There would have been a plate number. They could have tracked it down, but I think they wanted to make a show out of it. I think the sheriff really wanted to make it a thing. I think they wanted to kind of beat their chest, so to speak, and go, and bring some fear to the neighborhood. We don't want that kind of anti-Trump narrative here in Dallas. Clearly, that's how no one in Dallas actually talks. I've been there multiple times. But the point is that it's stupid, you know, that this happened. Her being arrested on fraud charges should be, if this is a story at all, should be on the headline of the story. That was what I was trying to get to earlier, was saying, like, look, the narrative there is a woman with anti-Trump sticker arrested, right? And it's like the headlines make you think that she was arrested for that, which she was originally threatened to be arrested for that, but ultimately was arrested for something entirely unrelated that some catty bitch called in as probably a big F you to her. So remember, you know what they say, keep your enemies close, or, you know, your friends close and your enemies closer. And that's pretty much what happened here. But in the meantime, at least the situation for the most part has been resolved, and we can go back to whatever else it is we're doing when it comes to politics and discussion about politics in this country. So yay for that. Hey guys, that wraps up this video. If you'd like to leave a comment, please do so below. I love to read your guys' input. Be sure to hit that thumbs up button. It really does help me in the YouTube algorithm. If you want to support the channel, there's the Amazon affiliate store, there's PayPal, there's Patreon, there's Bitcoin. And if you're bored and you want something else to watch, check out 3 Buck Theater up here. My name is Matt Jarbo. I will talk to you guys later. Have yourself a wonderful day. Peace out.